Yes, so number 10 now moves on to, we are moving on to number 10. Number 10, part D, says to choose a method to determine the variance and standard deviation. We all know that the standard deviation is the square root of the variance, so we must get the variance first. Okay, now we are dealing with grouped data. We are dealing with data with frequency present. So let's go to the list of formulas to look for the formula for variance for grouped data. We dealt with variance for raw data already. So here it is, two formulas for variance for grouped data by intervals of frequency. Here frequency is present. So this is the formula for variance for group data method 1. So let's take a snapshot of it. And let's bring it forward to our worksheet. Method number 1, right, solution. Now, as you can see in this formula, sigma is present here, sigma is present in the denominator. The sum of the frequency, we found it already, was 70, so we know that number. The mean of a sample, or X bar, we found it to be 32.21 centimeters. Okay. Now, please don't be tempted, don't confuse sum of F with sum of F. The denominator is sum of F alone, but in the numerator is a totally different ball game. It's not the sum of F, you know, it's the sum of all of that. We have to do all of that first before we sum. Please always remember that whenever you see sigma, start from the right. F alone, okay, fine, 70. All of that we have to do before we sum. How to do that? Create a table, and the heading is all what's to the right of sigma. That's what you put in the heading. Okay? All what's to the right of sigma, that's what you put in the heading. Let's check it out. Sorry about that. Okay? Here it is. F open bracket x minus x bar all squared. F open bracket x minus x bar all squared. We have to find f x minus x bar all squared. Okay? Our x's are the midpoints. Okay? Here they are. These are our x's at the midpoints. All right? To do this manually, let's just do one of them manually. The first midpoint is 10, and the frequency for 10 is 8. So 8 and 10. Bear that in mind, 8 and 10. F is 8. X is 10. 8, open bracket, 10 minus the mean. The mean is 32.21. Close bracket, all squared. That's the first value, equal. Let's go to calculate it. That's doing it manually. 8 times, open bracket, 10 subtract 42.21, close bracket, all squared. As is, you can type that in your calculator. So that's what, you know, I used to be expressing when, you know, you're in the physical classroom and you're on the whiteboard, you know, and type that in your calculator as is. Also, you can try it if you have a calculator with you all know. So 8, open bracket, 10 minus 42.21, close bracket, all squared. And here it is. F is 8, X is 10, minus the mean, close bracket, all squared. Enter. So the first one is 3946.27. 3946.27. Okay? 3946.27. 2 decimal places suffice. Then you move on to 20 and 22.5. Then 30 and 37.5, 12 and 50. That was before. But I would encourage you to go to your Excel, look the X's and look the F's. Okay. This, we calculated that already. We use that already. We can just delete that. Bam. What we can do, we can shift the sequence, so we can copy. We can copy this and cut this, put this there, because we want the F first. Fx. You know, delete this, delete that, start fresh. If you want, you can just delete those two columns there, because we have, oh no, this is dependent on that. Yeah, equal A1 B1, so we can leave it like that. Although there was a way to copy, I figured out a way to copy. When you copy and you want to copy the formula, see if I can remember it. Just a quick second. Because if I copy this there, and I paste it there, copying the formula with it. But if I just want to copy the numbers alone, I press Ctrl C. I think there's a special paste. Yeah, paste 1 to 3. So I can go there and go to paste and paste 1 to 3. Bam. So these numbers, the formula was not carried forward. You see the formula, here it is, the formula was not carried forward. So if I just delete those 3 columns, Shift F10 or right click, delete columns, okay, right. So now nothing is affected. So these are my F's and these are my X's, because I want the sequence of Fx. Because why I want to facilitate, because the formula say F, my F is in A1, sorry. So type equal A1 times, because Excel doesn't recognize a number in bracket is multiplied, so you have to put your times, open bracket, X is 10. 10 is in B1 minus the mean. That number is supposed to be constant, 42.21, close bracket, all squared, enter. There it is, 3946.27. 3946.27. I wanted 2 decimal places. If you leave it as 3, it's not a problem, but 2 decimal places suffice minimum. F10 or right click, format cells. Okay, number to 2 decimal places. Okay, bam. And then you go to a little, you know, famous little green rectangle, double click, bam. So you don't have to manually, you know, and we want the sum one time. Is the sum thereof, isn't that so? The sum of that. So we have calculated 4 of them. So now we can easily find their sum. Always sum last whenever you see sigma. Oh, look at sigma again. Here it is, sigma sign, sum. The Greek or Greek S. Right. And then we can just put this in bold, increase this a little bit, copy, and paste in our ready-made table that is there, right there. Okay. This, if you want, you can write it. If you want, you can write it. But if you leave it out, I will not penalize. But if you want, you can write it. This one is the, instead of going up and down, let me just read it from the Excel. Instead of deleting it, let me just write it. I wrote the first one already. The other one is 20. Yes, 20. 20 open bracket and 22.5 minus 32.21. All right. Close bracket, all squared, equal. Okay. I can just copy this because the 42.21 on the brackets staying constant. What are changing now is the x, the f there is 30, and the x is 37.5. Is there, everything else constant. The next one is 12. There is a 2 there already, so I can just delete the 0, put a 1. Okay, 50. There's a 5 there, just delete this and put a 0 in front of the 5. Okay, and basically just bring this closer to the sum. Now that is our numerator. Okay, we are not through yet because the formula says is find the sum of this f open bracket x minus x power squared. We got it divided by the sum of f. The sum of f is actually 70. So I don't need the little rectangle again. We now divide. Okay, so we can just do that. Enter, go to insert, equations, script, superscript, variance is s squared, variance is equal to fraction let me see if I can copy this and paste this there. Copy, paste. Okay, 70. Find the division now. Control C, go to formula. Enter. 149.56, that's the variance. Okay, I could have just copied this. Copy this. Paste it there. Equal. 2 decimal places. 149.56. Okay, and just come on, equal. S is equal to, go back there, the square root of the variance is standard deviation, 12.23. 12.23. 12.23. Hence, we have to interpret. So that will be part E. So part E says to interpret. Part E. Okay. That's part D. Hence, okay. The average dispersion, because it's a measure of dispersion, average variability, average spread of the 70 heights of the 70 data values. Heights in that case is 12.23 centimeters. Variance for group data using method 1.